Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to this episode of the Auto Detailing Podcast. I'm Jimbo, your host, and today we're going to talk about documenting the details, documenting literally the details of a detail, and then how you can use this to actually get positive online reviews, get more clients, and really establish yourself as the go-to detailer, which is really kind of what everyone is after, right? We all want to become that go-to guy, so then we can stop chasing work and the work comes to us. It's a much better position to be in when calls are coming to you, and then you can kind of filter through the calls versus you constantly having to drum up new work. It gets pretty old having to do that. So if we can get customers to come to us, it's a lot better. So how we can do this, or one tool that I think is extremely valuable, and it's so cool. We talked about it in the Detailer Inner Circle call earlier this week, but the cool thing about being a detailer and detailing is that your subject matter is always right in front of you, right? The car that you're working on is your subject matter, and all you really have to do is kind of document your way through that. So let me give you a few examples. So I used to do a lot of fleet washing, and I'd roll up to a parking lot and do 10 cars, right? And so if that's your style of detailing, you could just document on Instagram or pick up your phone or have a camera and just record what you're doing. Record, hey, today I rolled up and I did a lot of cars at Carl's Jr. corporate offices. And, hey, I'm at Carl's Jr. corporate offices today, and I got 10 cars ahead of me, and this is the method that I use to wash 10 cars and wash them efficiently and effectively. Shoot, that's a whole nother podcast episode. That's what happens when I start recording podcasts. I get other podcast ideas. So maybe we'll talk about that one day, of how to do 10 cars at a rate of 3 or 4 cars an hour and really make money doing that. But then I lose my train of thought after I get off a rabbit hole like that. But anyway, so you can be documenting that. If you're doing concourse level detailing, that's obviously the kind of sexier part of detailing. And so you could document the process through that. But what you can do, and why that's important to document that process, is that you can then put it on your website. You could put it on your Instagram. If it's on your story, then you can make a post about it. And you can kind of take these micro pieces of content and kind of put them all over the place. And so it really gives you that kind of omnipresence feel when someone else is going to look for detailing services in their local area. Or if they're looking to find a detailing service to come out and detail their car. But also you can kind of curate this content for the type of customer that you want. And that's another idea that we talked about in the Inner Circle call, is that if you really want to be a high-end detailer, that you only work on high-end cars, exotics, whatever, well, make sure that you're curating the content, whether that's on your website or on your Instagram or wherever that may be, around that style of work. And then make sure that your customer experience is up to par with that level of clientele that you may be dealing with, versus if you're going for more of the masses, more of the kind of general car, you want to make sure that your content and how you kind of handle everything is fit for that specific customer base, I guess. And so I will say, it's kind of interesting, a little side note, the more expensive of a car that I used to detail, usually the cheaper that client got. So that's kind of this like weird dichotomy that we have going on in the detailing space. Is usually the more expensive the car, the cheaper the client, and the cheaper the car, the better the client. So look, if you're a detailer and you're doing super unsexy minivans and you're doing super unsexy cars, you probably have a thriving business. And every time I see someone who's only doing exotics, I always get a little skeptical, because at least in my experience, that's what it has been, that those clients are usually the cheapest clients out there. But anyway, document the details. So I think the most ideal, and if I was still doing cars all the time, here's what it would look like for me. So I think Instagram's probably the easiest. And so and I think if you want to follow someone who's really doing this well, you can check out Jeremy at Shine Supply. I feel like he really documents the details, and I think it's really paying off for him. I obviously haven't talked to him about it, but I could sense that his follower growth is growing, and it seems like it's doing wonders for his business. And so, like he does, hey, today we got this Toyota Tacoma in, it's getting this level of service, here's the before, and then maybe, we'll work through the process and I'll show you my process through this whole detail. And then you show the process through the whole detail, and whether you're using Instagram or filming it with a camera or just filming it with your phone. Hey, here's how we shampoo mats. Hey, here's how I clean a door panel. Here are the few tools that I use to clean this door panel. Or here's, I put an iron remover on and then I clay it with the iron remover or whatever. And you just document your process through that. And yes, you may attract other detailers. So if a customer, they land on your Instagram. So here's how I think the customer funnel goes. A customer does a Google search for auto detailing near them, right? And they have all these options. And so they start kind of filtering through these options. And so they may land up on your website, and then they're most likely going to go over to your social channels. And when they go over to your social channels, compared to a detailer who's not documenting the process or not documenting their details or their day or whatever, you have an upper hand because that customer feels connected to you through these stories or through these posts that you may be doing. And posting may be another great way to do it. Even on Instagram, you could do 2 or 3 or 4 pictures of the car that you did, again, before and after, and documenting what you did and why you did it. And you start building up a rapport with these people that are looking at your social channels, looking at your website, and you can kind of repurpose this content all across all of social media. And so it could be extremely beneficial to do that. So again, document the details. You're already doing the car. And I know, trust me, I struggle with this too, and I need to take my own advice. Part of the reason why I'm filming a video podcast is just that. The audio is great, but the video may be better, and I'm already here doing it anyway. I might as well just get video out of it as well. So again, I'm trying to really document, take advantage of creating content and spreading it across multiple platforms so that I can really squeeze that lemon as well. But really just wanted to put that tip out there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening. If you want to see the video edition of this podcast, you could go over to my YouTube channel. And if you want to see what I do on a day-to-day basis, you can head over to my Instagram and check out my stories and my posts and all that fun stuff. And I will catch you guys on the next episode. See ya.